Did you ever get your 8 count down?
Absolutely not. Until this day, I'm still practicing in the bathroom. Boom shaka, boom shaka.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Joey Nolfi with Entertainment Weekly, and today I have lit my, I wish they were black flame candles, but they're just normal candles. I'm sorry to disappoint, because I have formed a calming circle of fabulous witches with me for a spooky, ooky, kooky, and creepy discussion about Hocus Pocus 2. That's right, today we're talking all things Sanderson Sisters with the RuPaul's Drag Race alums who will play drag versions of Winifred, Sarah, and Mary Sanderson in the upcoming Disney Plus sequel, out September 30th on Disney Plus. Please welcome Drag Sarah, Kahmora Hall.
Hello, everybody.
Drag Mary, Kornbread The Snack Jeté.
Meow.
And, of course, drag Winifred, Miss Ginger Minj.
Hello.
You know, legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers.
Another year begins anew.
Aged Capita Melica Mystica.
Maiden, mother, and crone too.
Aged Capita Melica Mystica.
We call on thee with one request.
Aged Capita Melica Mystica.
Help our intentions manifest.
I mean, I feel the magic, I feel the witchy vibes. Like, do you guys believe in the occult and magic out there in the world? Have you had supernatural experiences?
We actually had a few of them on set.
Oh,
sure did.
Yeah, we did ghost hunting. We went ghost hunting. We found the app on the phone and went ghost hunting. It was creepy as hell. Like, super creepy.
I wasn't a believer before, but Ginger made me a believer on set, so I blame you for all the hauntings I've had.
I love ghost hunting. I love all that kind of stuff. So I have this app on my phone where it has like all these different things that you can do while you're ghost hunting. And we had a lot of downtime when we were on set. You know, we were there for a long time, and it was these old buildings. So we would just take the apps and we'd go around and go ghost hunting.
So tell me about these encounters. What ghosts did you encounter?
Well, we don't know them like personally. Although there was one of our one of the people who did was working in like the costume department, I believe. They had remember the person that had one on their back? There was one like following this particular person around.
Yes.
It was creepy. So the app basically like says to you like, oh, read this and then blah 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 this, and you just keep on like getting these cute like keywords of what's happening. So we were in like a building that was like an old like courtroom, like Throwback Thursday from Thursdays when Thursdays first started, kind of like courtrooms, and we didn't know it was upstairs, so we went up there, we're like reading all the things. It was creepy.
He like spelled out the costume designer's name and everything. Yeah. Like he knew his middle name. It was like, what the heck?
And we were loving every moment of it.
I'm just ridiculously excited for this movie to come out, and this is quite a group of queens that Disney has assembled for this film. So I want to start at the very beginning when you all came to this film. Like, was it an audition process? How did you each join?
I was in London. I was doing Ursula in this villain's Halloween tour last year, and I got a text message in the middle of the night from Anne Fletcher, who directed Hocus Pocus. She had directed Dumplin' when I was in that. So she said, girl, I've got a part for you in Hocus Pocus if you want to do it. I said, I will change my flight right now and come home. And she said, I trust you. I want you to find me a couple of your sisters that would really just kind of like fit with you in this project. Wow. So I got to give them a list of names, and they chose these two from that.
It wasn't supposed to be me. It was supposed to be Jada Essence Hall, if I'm not mistaken, that was supposed to be doing this. And then Minj was like, oh, there's an opportunity for blah, 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 blah. So they ended up submitting me for it. But we couldn't say anything about me being on Drag Race at the time. So me going to do it was a little bit sneaky because I wasn't supposed to be doing anything at the time because we weren't announced. But yeah, I ended up doing it not as a Ru girl at the time. Even when like the leak photos and stuff were coming out. Because obviously the set was like hot, so people can like see everything. They knew who these two were, but I was definitely like Sookie for a second. I was Jaden Dior Fish for a second because no one knew who Kornbread was at the time. So I kind of lucked out in the moment of it. It was definitely like two girls and like a local queen at the moment. But yeah, so when he asked me did I want to do it, I was like sure. I was just literally sitting at his farm, and I was like I want to go. I want to try to do this. So we set it up. And like here we are today, but it definitely wasn't supposed to be me in the beginning of this, like whatsoever.
I thought they got the wrong email. Like I was so like surprised by it. Like I had to Google the person emailing me just to make sure it was legit. But I guess ironically, the same dates that they were filming, I had a trip to Disney World planned. And I was like, is there any way we can like move the dates or like any flexibility? And they're like, girl, you are not Bette Midler. We are not changing the dates for you. So I was like, you know what? Let me reschedule my vacation. No problem.
Not Kahmora fact-checking and also asking them to move the date.
To move the date so she can go to Disney.
I actually did end up going to Disney World anyway a few months later, so it all worked out.
But the thing is, the more you know Kahmora, the more you realize, like, that's not an out-of-the-box request or moment for her.
Hey, it's the Sanderson Sisters. I bet you're looking for the stage. Always.
You were each are portraying drag versions of the Sanderson Sisters, so what can you tease about how and why your characters appear in the scene that they do?
The Salem Scare Fest is like this annual competition that the town of Salem throws, and part of that competition is a Sanderson Sisters costume contest. Everybody who's ever been anywhere in the world where there is a Sanderson Sister impersonator knows that drag queens tend to do it frequently, and they tend to do it best. So, of course, like it would not make sense if there were not a troupe of queens there representing the Sanderson Sisters, and that's how we happen to be there when they stumble on the scene.
Literally.
What can you tell me about the musical number itself? Because I was talking to Kathy, and Kathy did tell me that there are some interactions on stage, that you all get to have a really good time. So how are you sort of weaved into that musical performance?
Honestly, without giving too much away of anything, we're the start of it, which is a joy. You'll find out what this song and everything is when it comes. But it was actually really cool watching it, because we did get to like shoot our scenes and like the moments we had, and then we got to watch them like particularly do everything. And it's not as spoilers I giving away, because even on the flyer that they posted, Mary, Catherine's character, is literally on like the little room bus as her like broom. So it's like it's very fun and up to date kind of moment, if that makes sense. Because I didn't realize what those were on her feet the first time, and then it kind of clicked to me. But that just gives you like an inkling into what the number is going to be. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great things going on there, and like the set itself is like insane. We're going around taking pictures and having photo ops and photo shoots, because there's so many.
Me and Kornbread, we've got like 200 pictures.
Literally, there's so much of it. So like the musical's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be absolutely insane for sure.
And can I just say before we move on that Kathy, Bette, and Sarah Jessica Parker treated the three of us with so much respect, and they really looked out for us. Like Bette Midler was checking our camera angles and our lighting to make sure that we looked the best that we could, and they were just like rallying around us and cheerleading for us the entire time.
And it was cold when we were filming, and Sarah made sure that we were all warm and made sure we had coats on. And so, also they were just so professional. Like as soon as the camera went, action, they were like in character. So it was such an honor and privilege to see that like happen. So
Kahmora, I have to know for you, how did acting in this film compare with the acting challenge on your season of Drag Race?
And that's why I was like, did they get the right email first when they first reached out to me? Have they not seen the episode? It was different because unlike Drag Race, I'm not competing with anyone. There was no like, oh, if you mess this up, you're going home. Well, I guess that would have happened to it on set if I did mess it up. But luckily, I'm not gonna say anything. But it was a lot of fun, and to have a little role like that. And as far as I know, it went well. Got no complaints.
Kahmora trying to keep it cute. I sat with Kahmora all night. We're not having no monologues. We're not having no long moments. Me and Kahmora sat up in this hotel, in this thing, going over this one line for hours, because she did not know which route she wanted to take. Kahmora said, the person you saw on TV is a very real human being. Kahmora had me up sitting up there going over this line, and she said it's 17,000 ways, and then we get to set, and she did not do what we did. She did a complete, which was great. What she did was phenomenal. But after we practiced, Kahmora playing, she lying.
At breakfast, lunch, dinner, was like cornbread. Am I saying this right?
Nonstop.
Did you ever get your 8 count down?
Absolutely not. Until this day, I'm still practicing in the bathroom. Boom shaka, boom shaka.
It made the set so much fun. Like, it's the cutest thing on the planet to see Kahmora Hall stress over an 8 count and one line, and then get on stage and do it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, girl, I told you just go out and have fun like your normal self, literally.
Did they allow you to sort of do your makeup as you would do it as queens, or were there sort of guidelines that you had to follow to transform into the respective Sanderson Sisters?
We did nothing.
We didn't do it. It's a union set, so there were hair and makeup and costume people there for us, which is nice. I mean, it's such a nice change when you're used to doing everything for yourself, but it's also kind of panic-inducing because you're used to being the one that has the final say over everything. It's hard to kind of turn the reins over sometimes, but it's also really just kind of freeing in a different way.
The makeup artists and everything like is some of the nicest people we met. A lot of them working on like the Stranger Things and everything. They have like very like intense jobs as it is. Even the costume department, we got there days early just to do fittings and make sure everything was perfect. Like the costumes were outrageously expensive, outrageously gorgeous. Like it was insane how much time and effort they put into our looks and our makeup for Kahmora to just dress over one line. But they put a lot of time and a lot of energy in it, girl. It was sickness.
Look, I was cool with it because I got to sleep in. I didn't have to wake up at 8 a.m. to do my makeup. I was like, yeah, go do it for me. It's totally fine. I'll sit here, take a nap. I'm good.
Well, and Curtis, who does RuPaul's hair, did all of our wigs for the. Oh, he did all the hair for the movie.
Oh, no.
Really ours.
Oh, no, that's really nice. No, I love that. So there must have been a sense of familiarity there, too,
Absolutely.
like a sense of comfort there on set. Did you guys take anything from the set? Any costuming or wigs or anything?
We were not allowed to.
But they did give us little like takeaway trinkets. They made us cute little, here you go, takeaway, like cutouts of each one of the fabrics used to make our costumes of each one of the characters, and put a little nice little note and little stick. It's hanging up in my vanity room downstairs, but it's the cutest little like giveaway kind of moment. And there also was a spider ring that was in my hair that I wanted to take so bad, and it's not downstairs in my vanity as well because I didn't take it because they told us we can't take anything. But if I were to take it would
definitely do not have the crown from my hair. I definitely don't.
It might be downstairs.
They let me keep the nails that I got to wear on set. You know, I still got the glue on them. You know, it's part of the memory. So didn't bother cleaning them. Still got it.
You know, I do want to talk about the three central ladies in the film, too, because you are playing them. Did you have a chance on set while you were filming with them? Did they give you any pointers on like how to portray them, or did they sort of just leave it all up to you?
They were just having fun with it. It was more so they're like admiring drag queens being on the stage, just plain and simple. They were just admiring what we were given anyway. It was not even like, oh, I would do it like this, because it's technically us trying to be them in a Halloween costume kind of moment. Right. So it wasn't even interactive. It was just having fun. When the cameras called cut, it wasn't, oh, do this, do this. It was just everybody kikiing and having fun and trying to stay warm to 2 degrees. No direction whatsoever. It was just a lot of fun from them. Very sweet.
The first words out of their mouth, Kathy looks at me, this is right after All-Star 6, and goes, oh my God, you were robbed. Then they start about Kahmora and her season, and then they look at Kornbread and go, you want me to call RuPaul and get you on the show?
And I said, girl, no.
They love Kornbread. They love
I was like, baby, I thank you for the recommendation, but don't you pick up that phone, because you're about to get me in trouble, honey. I'm not supposed to be here. I know RuPaul. I got Bob on the show. I'm like, Catherine, baby, I love you, but don't do that.
You can tell that they are genuine fans of not just what we do, but of Drag Race. They're fans of us. They're fans of the franchise. They're fans of drag in general. And I got the sense that they were part of the reason that we were there in the first place. They really looked out for us.
You know, it is funny to me, or not funny, but it's I guess poignant to me, because I think we can all agree that essentially the first film is just 3 women terrorizing children while in Halloween drag. I mean, is that accurate? Is that why the queer community, you think, has such an affinity for this film?
Yeah.
People on a regular in costumes, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's these girls with these hair, this makeup, these costumes, and all they're doing is seeking like a little snack and eternal youth and beauty. Like it's an allegory and a metaphor for the gay community.
Eternal youth, yes.
Not to freak out, the vengeful maniac obsessed with getting revenge on Salem sounds very bad for Salem. We should get some salt. Why? So we taste better when they eat us? Spread out.
The 3 of us stood off to the side the first time that they were flying and just kind of held hands, and it was the most surreal moment. As somebody who grew up just infatuated with these women and this movie, to be there in person watching them fly over your head is just, it's something that I'll never forget, but I could never put into words.
It truly was winning the gay lottery. That was the gay lottery, watching them fly.
I think it also has an extra poignance because you all are bringing something totally unabashedly queer to a major Disney film, and I don't think that that's any small feat. So how did you all feel about the film, including this scene that features queer characters prominently in this moment in what is essentially a children's film, especially given everything that is going on right now?
We three were lucky enough to be on the outlet that gave us a bit of a name, but it was being there, we clearly knew that we were drag queens, obviously, but there were so many different groups of people there on set that, you know, were in the competition, quote unquote, that it didn't seem like we were just like sore thumbs sticking out. They made us feel like we were a part of the group of everyone that was on stage. It did not feel weird. It didn't feel like out of place or out of pocket. And I think it's a very subtle way to show people like we can all be in the same room and have space and on the same stage. And I'm glad they're paying homage in some way to the queer community. So it's great to see, honestly. Make you feel normal.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, I've learned throughout my career that it's not the younger generation that ever has an issue with us or what we do. It's the older people that are still trying to catch up to it. And I think, Kornbread, Kahmora, I think you can back me up. On the other auditions and stuff that we get, a lot of it is so in your face, like, I'm here to make a point. You are a drag queen, and this is a political statement. And that's not what any of this felt like. It just felt like you're a person, and you're a person, and you're a person, and let's put all the people together.
Well said. It felt like a nice nod to the queer community, the drag community, because, you know, we've been keeping the spirit of these characters alive for how many decades now? Every Halloween, the drag Halloween brunch at the Sanderson. So I just felt like it was a nice, you know, like, thank you for helping keep this movie alive and the characters alive, and you know, it was just an honor to be a part of it. Like I said, it was like winning the gay lottery.
Now, to close this out, I want to ask each of you, do you have, or maybe just collectively, you all have a favorite memory from set making this movie?
My favorite memory is because it's cold, so every time they'd call cut, there's two actually. Every time they call cut, they would run the jackets on or the coats or whatever they needed. And my favorite thing, and I aspire to be this when I'm an older actress, in my prime, it was freezing. And Bette Midler was like, all right, bring me my jacket. And her jacket was an Hermes scarf. It was a very thin Hermes scarf. And it was the most bougiest, most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life. Someone's freezing around her dying, and she wants this very, very thin layered Hermes scarf to be draped over her body that's not catching anybody's wind, but in her head it was keeping her warm, and I was obsessed with it.
My favorite memory, I think, would be honestly the downtime. Like, it was fun to film the movie, that's what we were there for, but the downtime in between, when the three of us, or usually just me and Kornbread, would break free of our handlers, and we would just take off and go exploring the set, because the set went on for blocks.
I was a goody two shoe. I say where else.
More behaved. Ginger and I did not behave.
Kahmora was working on that 1-2 step in her 8 count.
literally.
But we would grab like just one of the handlers and be like, "Come on, help us!" And then we'd go take pictures everywhere, and we got in trouble a couple of times, like a sweet trouble, like maybe you shouldn't do that. But we kept going. It was fun.
My favorite memory was the craft services, honestly. We got 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No, but honestly, kind of what Ginger said, my favorite time on set was just hanging out with these two. Because they're so silly, and when they would drag me out to go with them and like rendezvous around set when we're not supposed to. Or just even off set, just hanging out, going to IHOP late at night.
Oh my God, we did!
Yes!
We went to go drive to another town to go see a drag tour. We were doing some stuff. We literally did everything. That's crazy.
So, yeah, Kornbread, you weren't even supposed to be there filming, and then you're not supposed to be leaving the set. So, like, you're just doing everything you're not supposed to be doing.
Oh, always. But I break rules. Like, what do you mean you're going to tell me I can't do something? YOLO. Baby, we was escaping everywhere. We was bobbing for apples, and we wasn't even going to be bobbing. We was doing something on the beach.
That's not 6 feet under.
Stop! I am a good zombie!
No, truly, we are on daylight savings time. The black flame candle has been extinguished. The witches have turned to dust, and so has the interview. I want to thank you all so much. Hocus Pocus 2 stars Kahmora Hall, Kornbread The Snack Jeté, and Ginger Minj, all of whom you can see in Hocus Pocus 2 when it debuts September 30th on Disney+. Until then, So long, Salem.